What's up everybody, it's Alfred and back with another video. Just gonna start all over because I didn't like how the first one was going. Starting off with a single raise pot on board 3 and we're just gonna bet small. We're gonna get check raised with our nice backdoors and relevant queen blockers. We're just gonna call. Once he checks, I think he was just trying to steal because of our small bet. We're blocking a lot of the Queen X here. He can be check raising some of his flush draws, but with just our blockers, our hand just makes a pretty natural bluff here. And folding on board 2. 3 betting a lot with the 10s here. And depending on how we want to play our strategy, we can go for some big bets and some small bets here. It's nice that we get the 1 on board 3 through. I'm just going to go for the big sizing. 10s are a bit too vulnerable. Like that, we can easily get outturned by king, queen, queen, jack. I'm going to start off with a check now. Or check on the turn. Facing a half pot sizing, we're still going to call. On the river, we'll face a tough decision if we're bet into. It looks like he had ace king, so very interesting. We already know this guy's going to be the tighter player. Going to block on board 3. Could even take a 2 big blind sizing. I just defaulted to my 25% button. Pretty interesting how this guy's doesn't 4-bet ace king off. That would be a good note to take. Player doesn't 4-bet ace king suited. Button versus big blind. It just means that in the future when he 4-bets you button versus big blind, his range is much more like linear or stronger. Mostly going to be his made hands, like his pocket pairs. If he's calling ace king suited, he's calling ace queen suited, ace jack suited, those kind of hands. So this just makes his 4-betting range significantly stronger. Just got to be mindful of that in micro stakes in general. It's Friday, tomorrow might pull up a stream or something if I'm feeling it. Getting some nice hands here. We finally got our pocket jacks, or finally got like a good premium. Looks like there are a few regs. You see these people with like millions of hands played. With my overpair, even though I'm going to roll low, I'm still going to be betting. Taking a 3-bet with the 8s. He's going to call. Pretty nice flop for us, like our range. He'll still have hands like 10s, jacks here that are still beating us. I just think I'm going to be betting a small size here a lot. He's gonna call and we do pick up a gut shot. He does have these lower sets here. But I think that considering we bet really small on the flop, he will have hands like ace jack, ace queen here that are gonna be calling. So I think betting on the turn is fine. Also putting his jacks and 10s in a tough spot. Yeah, but it looks like he just had one of those queen jack suited, ace jack, kind of holdings. With our kind of hand, it doesn't make sense to check raise such a small sizing. It looks like he's more of the passive player based on my notes. So I don't think he's the type of player that's going to be bluffing later streets. That's why I'm just going to check raise. Try to cooler his Jack X here, like his Queen Jack, 10 Jack. Looks like he's going to tank fold. I'm gonna size up on board 2 since we are a bit deeper. Had a nice backdoor and got shot to the nuts. Also have the pretty nice range advantage here, so I'm not really worried when it comes to this kind of board. Looks like we're running hot. We're already up 100 bigs. So up a buy-in already. It should be improving that red line. Oh, pretty nice board here. The big blind will have more 6x. So we gotta be careful not to bet this spot too much. But with our hand, I think we just like betting. Decide to check board 1 with a top pair. This is what happens when you bet this board a lot. We're gonna get check raised a lot. As I say, a lot, 3 times in a row. Of course, we're calling. I think on the turn we're still calling. It just sucks that his like 4 or 5 bluffs just got there. Once you check, I'm trying to think, is it worth it to bluff off ace high? I guess we are beating things like 5-7. We lose to ace deuce. I just don't think that, I think with king high is a bit too much showdown value. Because we're beating hands like 7-8, 8-9. Even hands like jack 5. Not worth, I think like, it's not worth it because we're going to be getting called by a lot of ace x. I think we win enough by checking is what I'm trying to say. Pretty nice play by this guy. Your strategy can just have a big bet on this board. We're going to 3-bet with the jack 9 suited. Let's aim to finish this leaderboard. Not sure how much value there is to calling, but since we are dealing with a blue player, we'll be calling. I will be bluffing this river if he checks to me. And we're gonna have to go for a pretty big sizing. We're trying to fold out king queen, queen 10, those kind of hands. and avoid getting snapped by an ace. And it's pretty nice. So having that nice range advantage by 3-betting really helped us in the end. Gonna be calling here with a gut shot. And folding to the bigger size bet. Uh, 5-6 suited, 5-6 offsuit, I mean, seems a bit too weak. Gonna limp along with this player. And folding here is definitely not wrong. Isolating can't be wrong either. It's a decent flop here. We are beating some like these. We just have like a lot of air here. Gonna go for an ISO and we're gonna flop top pair facing a lead. We're gonna play very straightforward here since we are deep. It's not like we want to just start blasting off and raising, you know? Especially when a 7 gets there. Oh, it's not like we're happy, right? And we'll just keep calling these blocks down. And looks like he was just trying to get a cheap river. Definitely not a pro though. With the rake, I just don't think we can justify a call with 7-8 suited. And once we face an overbet here, the spot is just so underbluffed. I guess you can take this line with like your ace king, kings, aces, but generally I just don't think people bluff enough in the spot or with overbets in general. It's pretty easy fold once we get to the river. I don't blame his sizing though. You'll get called a lot by people who don't have discipline here. I'm gonna block this river. Yeah, I always just assumed like these people with the million hands that played a million cash games hands are just pros, but a lot of them don't act like it. We'll play until we're done this leaderboard. And with bottom 2, we're just going to be betting here. The hand needed a lot of protection, which is why I went for the bigger size bet here. Basically just gonna go whether like 50-50 whether I want to c-bet here or not on this paired board. Maybe with the queen it makes more sense to c-bet. This time I just rolled on the other side. There's a lot of air here on this board, but generally I think we have the best hand a lot of the time. Gonna get snap called, gonna get snap checked. Definitely don't think he'd be doing that with his pairs. He'd at least consider betting. And here we go. Hopefully we're just gonna see some random air. And he had a 4. So very interesting. Seems weird that he didn't consider betting at all. So we're gonna raise here. And we're gonna get called by the short stack. We already know this guy's kind of crazy. But he does have a lot of insta folds, so I just think even though we don't have much equity, we're just gonna bet. It's just gonna suck if we ever just do check and he's just betting with like 8-9 off, for instance. I'm just gonna be playing a pure call with the jacks. And looks like we're running hot, flopping top pair. I'm not gonna raise with our top set. He'll still be value betting a lot of hands on later streets. That's not a good turn, especially since his ace queen, his king queen gets there. But with top set we can't really fold, especially when we're gonna be river, when we have like a lot of boat outs and implied odds like that, and we just have a snap call. So a bit of a cooler to end the session. Once we're done the leaderboard, we're just gonna call it. Let's see what place we're in. Looks like we're 22nd, so maybe we'll win a prize tonight. All right, that was a nice short and sweet video. Hopefully it was somewhat informative. We ran really hot at the end. We're up 200 big blinds in 311 hands. So, yep. Oh. So, yep, pretty much a heater. Have a good one, guys. See you next time.